What is up, guys? Welcome back. So today we are jumping into our next how to paint video for our Borderlands Mr. Torgue's Badassery series that we've been doing. We've been painting up these models to put into our bunkers and badasses, and we are tackling Zer0 today. We do have to go ahead and dry brush him and get him ready, but we're going to refer to some references to see how we're going to paint him today. Alright guys, so I usually go onto the Borderlands fandom to find the photos, but I did just search up on Google. I just looked up Borderlands Zer0 character model, and this is a photo that came up. This is perfect because we are painting a Borderlands 3 version of Zer0. So, yeah, and you can tell by the way his outfit basically is. So his colors aren't going to be exactly like 2, because 2 he's kind of darker with a lot of light. This is more light than it is dark. Of course his mask and his belts and stuff are black, but his other parts are like a mid-gray, light gray, almost white. So that might be like a silver gray that we're gonna have to put there. But yeah, we're gonna try this out and see how this goes. With Zer0, he has no skin tone, so that's good. But we do have to take into consideration that there is a lot of stuff going on with his outfit. So we're going to start with a basalt gray and get the inner parts of it done, because we want to work our way in and then out. So we're going to start with the basalt gray. Alright, it looks subtle, but it's on there. So now what we want to do is we want to use our silver gray, which is darker than an off-white. It's like, you guys have to see. He has almost like white armor in this, but we want to use a silver gray because I think it'll look better, and off-white would be too bright, I think. So there is a shit ton of like white armor. So we're gonna use our silver gray. We're gonna hit all the parts. That's including pieces of his helmet. His face part of the helmet is black, but we are going to hit basically the back of his helmet, the sides of his helmet, his chest, his stomach area, his pockets here. The belt is black, but the pockets are going to be that white color. A lot of his pants are, pieces of his boots are, like he is mainly, his backpack thing where the sword goes in, that's all like white too. So it's going to look crazy when we're done, but we're going to hit all them spots up, and then all the minor details are actually going to be black. So we'll see. The only real coloration that we're going to have is some blue here and there. So he has a blue Zer0 on his shoulder, which will be this shoulder pad. It's kind of flipped. This is another model that's kind of flipped. So that shoulder pad is here on this model, but it's on the character model, it's over here. So we do have to do some browns with that too, because it's like a padding on this arm. But everything else is kind of like fucking white. So we got a blue there. We got a piece of his backpack that's blue. There is a dot over here that is blue. And there is his kneecaps. There's a little dot. These two dots right there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but they're blue. And then, of course, his sword is blue. And we want to highlight that to make it look like it's glowing. So let's go ahead and get to our silver gray. Alright, so now that that is on, we're going to work with our Tenebrau and basalt gray mix, which is just a mix of like, the Tenebrau gray is very dark, almost black, and the basalt gray is just like a darker gray. So what we're going to do, we mixed it already. We're going to put this on all of the belts. There's some pieces of his actual body that we have to do as well, and there are his mask too. The hilt of his sword is that color. Pieces of his feet, so like you have like the back end of his feet and his toe area, that is the same type of dark color. So we're going to hit all of these spots up, and then we are going to work with browns. We only have a little bit of brown to do, and that's only on this arm right here. Alright, so we now have the Tenebrau mix with basalt on him, and yes, it looks a little goofy right now because he is basically like kind of like 2 or 3 colors, but what we're going to do now is we're going to hit this arm with the brown. I'm going to use a mix of the brown that we were using yesterday with a lighter color. So I'm going to just wet it, and I'm going to mix it, try to get a good color here. And then I'm going to take a bit of water, mix up a lighter color. Then I'm going to try to bring it over here and mix it and see what we get out of that. Yeah, that's probably a good brown. We're going to use this brown to put on the arm. I didn't want to use the leather brown because it's kind of really dark, so I wanted to kind of lighten it up a little bit because it is a little bit lighter on there. We'll grab a little bit more, mix it in, see what it looks like. Yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to use that. So we're going to put that on the brown spots, and then we'll just put a layer of blue on the spots that need blue, but that's going to probably get repainted because they have to be bright. So, yeah. Okay, so now with all that set, we did some wet blending on the sword, but we're not going to hit that sword with any of the glazes or speed paints because we want that to be bright. So everything else, though, we are going to hit it with a Gravelord Gray. We don't need to worry about using a brown leather or anything for the shoulder. You know what? I will. I'm going to use a brown leather for the shoulder pad here because it will make that brown pop a lot different than a Gravelord Gray would. But the Gravelord Gray is going to jump in all the recesses and everything of the rest of the model. It's going to make it pop. Once I do all of that, I will let that dry, and I will work on the base by putting a brown oxhide around the base. And then once that's dry, I will go ahead and start my highlights, and I will finish the base off and then paint the rim black and put Zer0 on the base, and he will be done. So this is right after I put down my glazes. So how I'm going to do my highlights, I'm going to use the same retrospective paints that I've been using. So the white area would technically be highlighted with the silver gray. I'm not going to mess with the brown too much because it's only a little bit of a spot. I am going to hit the blue up again for the different parts that needed blue except for the sword. I didn't hit the sword, so we do need to hit that. I also want to put Zer0 on his face, but in red, because he does have that red coating that shows over his face, because I do want to show that. Yeah, it's a little bit different, but it'll do. And here is Zer0 painted and ready to be put into our bunkers and badasses, or Mr. Torgue's arena of Badassery. If today's video helps you out in any sort of way with painting your Zer0 from Monster Fight Club's Borderlands, be sure to leave this video a huge like. Also, if you know anybody that has been trying to paint these miniatures up and is having a hard time, or they want to paint it and they just are at the point where they're kind of scared to paint because they haven't painted before, be sure to share this video with them. The whole thing that I'm doing right now is I'm trying to push the people that are scared to paint or are new to painting in the direction of just picking up a brush and giving it a go, because at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's worse not really basically giving it a shot than to just wanting to do it and not trying at all. The only way to get good at it or better at it is to keep picking up a brush and painting on miniatures. You don't have to start on your extravagant miniatures that you want to do. You maybe want to practice on some simple ones like $2 ones or whatever, like Bones miniatures. You can do that. But the better the detail on the miniature, the better the outcome will actually be. So, yeah, if you know anybody that needs help or that push, be sure to send this video or any of my other Borderlands painting videos to them if they need that sort of help. Also, if you are new to the channel and have been watching these painting videos or checking out this video, it would really support us if you would hit that subscribe button. We're trying to make it, right now we're almost at 800, but I wanted to try to make it to 1,000 by the end of the year. We'll see where that goes, but we're almost actually hitting 1,000 videos. Like, we're like 900 something videos in. That's insane. Like, holy shit. So yeah, hitting that subscribe button would help us out a ton. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye.